Bonjour, mes amis. Let me begin by saying, wow, what an unprecedented and exhausting year this has been. Every day in every corner of the country, your member organizations, our 300,000 members, and each of you as leaders has faced unparalleled challenges. From coast to coast to coast, we have confronted blatant, unrelenting attacks by regressive governments. We've all had to deal with unstable, unpredictable, and inadequate funding, consistent attempts to undermine our collective bargaining rights, and the erosion of publicly funded education through privatization by choice. If that wasn't enough, we have a new shared reality: isolation, social distancing, remote learning, half-baked school closing and now reopening plans, and Zoom meeting fatigue. But I want to tell you, I have been so deeply impressed and inspired by the way each of our unions and our collective membership and each of you as leaders have responded. You spoke up, organized, mobilized, took a stand, worked with our labor partners across the country, and tackled every single challenge head on. We should be very proud of our individual and collective efforts to protect our members, our fundamental collective bargaining rights, and publicly funded public education in this country. My friends, I have more than 20 years of leadership experience at the local, provincial, national, and international levels. I've had the pleasure of serving ETFO's 83,000 members since first being elected to the executive in 2003. And I've had the distinct honor of representing ETFO as president since 2009. I've been actively engaged in the critical work of CTF since attending my first annual meeting in July 2004. I've had the good fortune to work collaboratively with many of you on the board of directors for the past 11 years. And from 2017 to 2019, I served 2 terms as CTF Vice President. And today, I'm seeking your support to serve as President Designate. I would be honored to take on this critical role as a member of your national leadership team. And I want you to know that I am fully committed to assuming the position of CTF President in 2021. I've always believed that CTF must be the unifying national voice of solidarity for our provincial and territorial unions. It must also be the go-to federal organization for policy and decision makers on all matters related to publicly funded public education. CTF plays an essential role, not just in advocating for the rights of our members, our fundamental labor rights, but also on the critical issues of health and safety, violence in our schools, standardized testing, privatization, and commercialism. For the past several years, I've worked tirelessly to solidify ETFO's place in the labor movement. I've served on the Ontario Federation of Labor's Executive Board, and I currently sit on the Canadian Council of the Canadian Labour Congress. And through that work, I have forged solid alliances with unions and union leaders in Ontario and across the country. And I look forward to utilizing those alliances to further the work of CTF into the future. I have a strong record as a steadfast champion of social justice, equity, and fundamental human rights for all. I promote diversity, challenge white privilege, and work to combat systemic racism at every level. I have always advocated for the rights and respect Indigenous peoples deserve, and I consistently stand for inclusivity and against homophobia, transphobia, and Islamophobia. Without hesitation, I condemn anti-Black racism, and I strive every day to be an ally. I walk my talk, and that will never change. This is CTF's 100th annual general meeting. What a remarkable milestone in our history. And we're still here as strong as ever. Governments of all stripes have come and gone, and we're still here. At some point, McNeil, Legault, Ford, and even Kenny will be gone, and we'll still be here doing what we have always done, advocating for our members and defending publicly funded public education. We have a solid foundation, but we're not done. Just know we'll get through these trying times side by side, and together we'll build a dynamic future for CTF. I'm so excited by the prospect of what we can do together as we move forward. And I would be honored to represent you as the CTF President Designate. Thank you. Merci.